We've got lots of exciting funding programs going on, lots of exciting announcements in the life sciences space. They just keep coming. So keep an eye on our newsletter, sign up to that because that's where we kind of share all the information that's coming out of the resources and programs we have available.
Welcome to NGBiPlus, a podcast about the organizations that support Canada's life sciences community. Hi, it's Jim Wilson, and my guest today is Shannon Graszat, who is Manager of Venture Growth at Innovation Factory in Hamilton, Ontario. If you're not familiar with Innovation Factory, it is one of 17 regional innovation centers across the province which provide advisory services, training, and mentorship. In our conversation, Shannon explains how Innovation Factory typically supports over 800 companies each year, how they help founders move from ideation to commercialization, and why Hamilton has emerged as a key hub in Canada's life sciences ecosystem. Before we get to our conversation, we'd like to remind you this podcast is part of the NGBI podcasts, which were created to help promote Next Great Big Ideas, Canada's Life Sciences Summit. NGBI is an annual, independently organized, not-for-profit fundraising event in support of McMaster Children's Hospital, and we hope you can join us. For details, please go to nextgreatbigideas.com. This episode of NGBI Plus was recorded in July 2025. I am delighted to have Shannon Graszat from Innovation Factory on today. Shannon and I have known one another longer than I realized. Shannon, great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Well, and I'm excited to have you. We've been chatting about this for a while. Now, this podcast is about the organizations that support the Canadian life sciences community, and you're with Innovation Factory in Hamilton, and this is one of the areas you support. I'd appreciate taking a moment to explain what the organization's all about, and cards on the table. I'm on the board of directors. I am thrilled to be speaking with you and promoting the organization, but I needed to say that. So over to you.
Yeah, no worries. So Innovation Factory, our mandate is to really help support entrepreneurs. We do that by offering them access to completely free services and resources that can help, at any stage from idea all the way up to scale up. And as you mentioned, life sciences is one of the sectors we focus in. Being in Hamilton, we do tend to have a larger percentage of life science companies than some of the other sectors, just based on the great ecosystem and programs that exist. So probably about, 35% of our companies coming in our doors are in the life sciences sector.
Oh, cool. How many clients would you have this year?
Yeah, so we are growing. So this year, we'll probably see around 850 clients come through our doors.
New clients or total clients?
Total clients. About half of those will be net new.
Okay. And about 35% would be life sciences based. What are the other areas that you support?
Yeah, great question. So we also support companies in clean technology space, any sort of autonomous or connected vehicle technologies, any sort of advanced manufacturing. We also support on social innovations, and then finally, any sort of digital media, so apps, software, and hardware.
Okay. And Innovation Factory is based where exactly?
Yeah, so we cover the Hamilton and Halton region. So the cities we cover is quite a big area. It ends up being about 10% of the GDP in this region. And so we focus our resources across Hamilton, Simcoe, Brantford, Halton Hills, Burlington, Oakville, and Milton.
And so that's your focus, but you've got clients from all over the province, correct?
Yeah, so our mandate is to support companies across Ontario. And because of the life science programs and resources we have, we do tend to see life science companies specifically coming from, all over from London to Ottawa to tap into the network and really utilize our funding programs and get access to those hospital networks that are, very well known across the province.
Hi, it's Jim. When we come back, Shannon walks us through how Innovation Factory supports life sciences companies across Ontario and how entrepreneurs can tap into that network to accelerate their growth. Stay with us. I'm Jim Wilson, and you're listening to NGBI Plus. NGBiPlus is a podcast about the organizations that support Canada's life sciences community, and it's one of the podcasts we produce to promote Next Great Big Ideas, Canada's Life Sciences Summit. NGBI is an annual national networking event for Canada's life sciences community, and we invite you to join us. For details, please go to nextgreatbigideas.com. So that is what we're doing this podcast for, but it's not the reason why. The NGBI Summit is also an independently organized, not-for-profit fundraising event in support of McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton, Ontario. MacKids is one of the top critical care pediatric hospitals in Canada, and it provides healthcare services for patients and families in need from Niagara through Haldimand, Hamilton Wentworth, Halton, Waterloo Region, and north to Grey County. It's a catchment area of over 2 million people, and the work done by the team at MacKids saves lives every day. If you're interested and financially able to provide support for a very worthy cause, we hope you will consider supporting MacKids. For more information, please go to hamiltonhealthsciences.ca/McMaster-Children's-Hospital. Now you know our why, and we appreciate your support. Thanks for listening. Welcome back. It's Jim Wilson, and my guest today is Shannon Graszat from Innovation Factory in Hamilton, Ontario. Innovation Factory is one of, 17 similar organizations? What's the umbrella organization that runs this whole machine?
Yeah, so we're all under the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade through the province. And so they do fund, these centers across Ontario that support entrepreneurs. We all kind of have a little bit different of a focus. So again, depending on where you are, because of Hamilton, big client resources there allow us to focus in the life sciences space, but some of the others might focus more on things like autonomous and connected vehicle technologies, AI. I know in Guelph, there's a big focus on like food-based companies. So depending on the region, there can be a little bit more focused on the services and resources we're able to offer.
Sure. And the incubator in Guelph is Innovate Guelph?
So they changed names last year. They're now called Boundless Accelerator.
Okay, news to me. And so there's Communitech in KW, which is the second largest in the province, Mars being the largest in downtown Toronto. And what's the accelerator in Ottawa?
There's Invest Ottawa. And so they are one of the bigger regional innovation centers as well. And then there's also in Markham, they have Venture Lab, which focuses on hardware-based companies. And so they are drawing companies from across the province as well.
Okay. And you've been with the organization for 8.5 years?
Yes, exactly. So I started back in January 2017 with Innovation Factory.
You're becoming a lifer.
I know. I say that all the time. I'm a lifer now.
That's good. And the address is in McMaster Innovation Park at 175 Longwood, just off Highway 403. I was going to ask, who's your target client? We kind of covered that, but for people who are not in the physical area that you described, can they tap into the resources remotely?
Absolutely. So we do offer all of our suite of resources and services remotely now. So we have webinars going on constantly. We have expert, one-on-one time with some of our partners people can access. We'll do our one-on-one advisory meetings. My team will meet with you virtually. So we have lots of options for folks that they can tap into our resources, and they don't necessarily have to be, a 20-minute drive from McMaster Innovation Park.
So someone who is contemplating a business idea, doesn't know how to get their arms around it, they should reach out to you.
Yeah, great question. We actually just stood up a brand new program earlier this year called our Concept Catalyst program. And through that program, we help people who, just came up with an idea. They don't know how to make that dream a reality. And so we really take them through all of the early stage exercises to help them get to, a product, help kind of push them along and make sure they're set up for success. So they can participate in that program. We have rolling applications. They can just apply through our website, and we'd be happy to help them turn that idea into a product.
You keep saying we. Let's talk about we. Who is we? Who's on the team?
Yeah, great question. So we have about 5 of us right now that are on the venture growth team. So that's the team that I manage directly. My team, we're really hands on with the companies that are coming in at all stages. We're really there to support the growth of the companies. So, for some of the later stage companies that might be making introductions to partners or investors, for some of the early stage companies, it's really guiding them through those early stage activities I mentioned earlier. But all of the innovation advisors on my team, we're working directly with those 850 companies that are coming through our doors every year. So we're really able to support them with that hands-on services.
So you're busy. Hi, it's Jim. When we come back, Shannon talks about the volume of companies Innovation Factory typically supports each year and what that looks like behind the scenes. Stay with us. I'm Jim Wilson, and you're listening to NGBiPlus. The NGBiPlus podcast is about the organizations that support Canada's life sciences community, and our goal is to shine a light on the companies and organizations who are typically behind the scenes providing services and guidance that, well, often goes unrecognized. We hope you like what we're doing, and if you do, we have a favor to ask. Please promote us on social with the hashtags NGBiPlus, NGBI, and NGBI Summit. Oh, and don't forget to become a subscriber so you don't miss any future episodes. We really, really appreciate your support. Now, let's get back to today's conversation. Hey, welcome back. It's Jim Wilson, and I'm speaking with Shannon Graszat of Innovation Factory about how the organization helps startups access funding and how mentorship and the innovation ecosystem are accelerating entrepreneurship across Ontario. Now, the organization is headed up by David Carter, and he's doing a great job. I'm on the board, I have to say that, but he is doing a great job. And Alex Mugga is the managing director of the Synapse Life Sciences Consortium, which is part of Innovation Factory. I'd appreciate you commenting on that.
Yeah, so we have a couple of different umbrellas that fall kind of under the Innovation Factory brand. And so Synapse Consortium is our longest standing umbrella organization. And through the Synapse Consortium, we're able to have our life science entrepreneurs access resources, services, funding programs that Alex's team manages. But I think the biggest benefit of the consortium is really having that ecosystem cluster organization that, gets all these big groups together, and our entrepreneurs are able to access them quite easily compared to, other cities in the province that don't necessarily have a Synapse Consortium to organize under.
Right. And Alex has been doing a fabulous job curating the program and actually was the recipient this year of the Life Sciences Ontario Community Award, and well deserved. This podcast is focused specifically on organizations supporting the Canadian life sciences sector, and I'd appreciate knowing who the partners are within the Synapse Consortium. Who are the consortium?
Yeah, so the consortium consists of partner organizations in the city that really help support the life science ecosystem. So that includes the hospital network, so Hamilton Health Sciences. It includes St. Joe's, McMaster University, Mohawk, as well as other partners that support the ecosystem. Hamilton ECDEV is also a part of that. And so all these organizations have really come together to be able to support not just the Hamilton life sciences ecosystem, but across the province, across the country, and kind of getting people to come to Hamilton to really be able to do things like clinical trials, research, and tech development.
The St. Joe's Research Institute is part of it as well, are they not?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So the assets are there, the experience is there, the expertise is there. There's a medical school, one of the top universities in the country, two of the top hospital organizations, one of the top colleges in Ontario, if not the country, and a number of other assets that we can't get into because of our time. But is there anything in particular that you would like people to know about the Innovation Factory?
Yeah, we just opened a new round of some of our funding programs. So if you're hoping as an entrepreneur to get connected into some of these hospital networks or university or college networks, there's some opportunity for us to not only be able to facilitate that introduction, but also provide some funding that can help support those early activities. So we just announced that Healthy program reopened. So you can go on our website, you can get that out and see if your company is eligible for that funding program. But I think, we've got lots of exciting funding programs going on, lots of exciting announcements in the life sciences space. They just keep coming. So keep an eye on our newsletter, sign up to that, because that's where we kind of share all the information that's coming out of the resources and programs we have available.
And what's the website?
It is innovationfactory.ca.
And there's an obvious link because people like me need obvious links to the newsletter and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So you can sign up
Okay.
for the newsletter right on our front page.
Great. Well, thank you so much for this. I really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really love being able to talk about the ecosystem in Hamilton, Halton region. It's unlike any other in the province. So it's great to be able to talk about the resources and services we have available for folks.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. Please keep it up.
Thanks, Jim.
That was Shannon Graszat of Innovation Factory in Hamilton, Ontario. If you'd like to learn more about the work Shannon and her team are doing to support entrepreneurs and scale innovative companies, go to innovationfactory.ca. You can also follow them on social at if_hamont. That's HAMONT. If you'd like to find out who I am and what I do when I'm not hosting podcasts, please check out jim-wilson.ca. And you can learn more about my team at laboccupier.com. You can also follow me on social at laboccupier. This show was researched by Xenia Pinto and edited by No Limit Marketing. If you'd like to get in touch, email is best. My address is jwilson@leonard, that's LENNARD.com. Thanks so much for listening. See you next time.